Hello, hello, welcome to Red Ted Art. First things first, subscribe to the channel. And yes, you've guessed it, today we're making some watermelon bookmarks, corner bookmarks. I've also made an orange one and a lemon one to show you, but today I'm actually going to show you only how to make the melon one. Now I did it slightly slightly different ways, if I can talk properly. One using a red paper and one using a green paper. But to be honest, and they're slightly different, I'll tell you which one's easier and which one's harder, but you could also just use white paper and colour it in. And in fact, the white paper colouring it in might just be the best option. What you will need is a green piece of paper. This is half of an A4, or as somebody pointed out to me recently, this is the same as an A5. Yes, you're quite right. But half of A4 is easier because most people do have A4 paper. You can buy, pads that are A4 big, and that makes a huge difference. You need A4 paper. You also need a glass that fits, well, you'll see in a minute, that's a certain size. You'll need a pencil, a black pen and some glue stick. So let's get started really quickly because obviously I don't want to bore you guys to death. First thing you need to do is fold up one corner to create a square. So basically what you actually want is a square piece of paper. Oh, as I say this, you also need scraps of red and white. Yes, so you need to create a square. And I'll do that by cutting this bit off. Keep this little green piece because that's always good for other crafts, or for example if you're doing this version you can use the scraps to create that green arch. So keep your leftovers. Then you now have a square piece of paper that opens like so, and like with all the corner bookmarks, you now bring up this corner up to here, bring up this corner up to here. Then you open it up, fold it one half down. So some of you are really familiar with my corner bookmark, so this should be really easy. Others you might want to just look at the steps again. Now you take this over and tuck it in. Try and get it as neat as possible. Bring this over and tuck it in. Now, because these book corners are going to end up being round, we're going to do some cutting and also some sticking. Now, some of you will have seen my emoji bookmarks. Hopefully you have. Hopefully you like them. If you haven't, I'll link them below and you can have a look at them. What's really important, you have to listen to this, is you have to glue down these flaps. The reason being, so I've opened it up again and I'm gluing it down. The reason being is that when we're cutting it into an almost circle, you're kind of destroying some of the structure, if that makes sense. So the bit that keeps it all together, you're kind of loosening it. So by gluing it, you're kind of allowing it to stay together. So the gluing bit is really important. I've had one of you two say with the emoji bookmarks, mine fell apart. Yeah, I bet you didn't glue it, right? So glue it, please. Please, 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 please. Really important to watch all my videos, the whole 7 minutes, whatever it is, simply because I do give you lots of extra tips as we go through. So now you want to create your circle. Important thing is that your glass is slightly bigger than your square, because when you kind of cut it, you actually need bits here and here, otherwise it really will fall apart. So with these circular bookmarks, it is important that you actually don't cut a perfect circle. They look almost perfect, but they're not. You do actually want kind of like a little straight line there, because that's what holds it together at the end. Now, I've mentioned this before, we've got some building works going on in my house, so apologies for the noise, if you can hear some drilling. But, it's more important that I continue crafting, isn't it? Now what you need to do next is cut a white circle and a red circle. Now, I have to confess, it did take me a little while to get this kind of sorted and get it all, in the right proportions. And it was a little bit fiddly. And you might want to use a protractor from school. So, get some concentric circles. Or you might be able to find, different shapes and sizes. So this glass, so the outside glass is good for that. The inside is good for that. So, a little bit fiddly. Oh! Just knocked my camera. Let's get that straight again. A little bit fiddly, but I'm sure you can manage. So, next thing is you stick these together, like so. Oopsie. Stick it together, la la, like this. Then you get your Oh, actually, I want that white to show, don't I? There you go. Then you get some little black lines for your seeds. Like so. Maybe one more. And then you cut it in half. The reason you have to cut it in half is because obviously your book still needs to go in, doesn't it? So I'm going to stick the top one on, like so. And, oh my goodness, I can really hear the drills. Don't know if you can. Hope not. But such is life. This is real life, isn't it? I do love to craft, but this is my home. And there you have your corner bookmark, okay? So just to show you what it looks like when it's on a piece of paper, that looks really cute, doesn't it? Now, with this one, you know I said there's two different ways. So with this one, I did a red corner bookmark. I cut it off, you know, did exactly the same. And then instead of sticking the inside in, I kind of stuck an arch on. But I found it much trickier to cut this arch out than I found cutting these circles out. But it does actually look very neat and very nice. So I do like it. It's just, it's a bit different. It's also slightly bigger. And then with these ones, and you can apply the same principle to your corner bookmarks. Basically, I just did an orange. And here I just did yellow. And then I painted on a rim, and I painted on some seeds. So this is a slightly different technique because we haven't used paints on our bookmarks before. So if you wanted to do the lemon and the orange, you basically add some paint. So here's just some white and yellow paint and some little lines, and here's some orange paint. And that's how you do those. So here you have 3 different fruity bookmarks for summer. I really hope you like them. I think they're really super cute. Don't forget to subscribe. We'd love to see you again on Red Ted Art again soon. And please, please, please tell all your friends. Anyway, big thumbs up, comments. Let me know what you'd like to see again soon. And yeah, see you here on Red Ted Art.